you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's so lovely to have you here. I haven't filmed for a while and it seems like I start every video saying that, but there's a but. I'm going to try to be more consistent this year because I really like sharing my journal stuff and I do want to talk more about books to share my love for them with others, with you. Today I'm going to set my 2025 media journal, or well, you see, maybe the title, the thumbnail was a little bit of clickbait. I know, I'm so sorry about that because most of this video it's going to be like a flip through. I have a very good reason because like almost all the spreads that I've done already, they had taken me like a month. I'm not kidding. So I cannot for the life of me post a video of 1 month long, you know? So I did leave some spreads that I'm going to finish setting up here in this video with you guys, just in case you want to see more of my process. But I'm such a perfectionist that I took and I take a lot in each spread because I want them to, I don't know, it's not like I know they're going to be perfect, but I want them to feel the most pleasant for me. You know, sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'm done, but then later I'm adding things or whatever. So anyways, we shall start. Thank you so much for being here again. Let's go. This is my front page. I'm never fully satisfied with my covers, to be honest. So basically this is softcore, you know, like fall vibes, beige, dark tones, and kitties and witches, little witches. So, and now here I have my index. I do not have like a specific theme for this journal, but since, oh, I forgot to tell you guys, this journal, a B5 size, is from the Notebook Therapy. I just fell in love with it when I saw it, you know, like how could I not? Look at the details. I really love the frame, like the margins. What about this? Like, can you not? And when I bought it, I didn't know the pages were like this, like the edges. I'm very happy with it. This year I wanted like a more vertical one because last year I had a square one. If you haven't seen my flip through, I'm going to leave the video over here. A lot of things are going to be very similar regarding my yearly spreads, but if you like to see the flip through of my 2024 media journal, let me know in the comments. If you're new here, I'm going to explain this because my journal is not only about books. I also log the films and TV series that I watch, so that's why I decided to call it a media journal. For the journal, as I was saying, I do not have a specific theme for it, but since this is the index, I decided that I might as well match it a little bit. And also these washi tapes are from the Notebook Therapy as well. Just to start, I took the inspiration of this illustration, if we can call it that, from Kitty's reading. I really love her journal videos. I didn't know what to put here, so I said like I might as well do something like this, very gothic and witchy. And I wrote this quote as well: a well-read woman is a dangerous creature, and I can totally relate to that. And here are the things we're going to see now. One thing you should know about me is that I love doing as many yearly spreads as I can. I vibe with them so much. Any detail that I want to log throughout the year, I'm going to make a spread about it. First, this is a new spread on my reading media journals, but I've seen a lot of pre-made journals that have included this specifically. I think I also took inspiration from the Notebook Therapy. Well, I put a picture of myself. Yeah, that's me with some books. Basically, me slaying, if you know what I mean. The title says about the reader, and I messed up there. I don't know if you can see. I put the letters the other side, but it doesn't matter. It makes it more special. Well, here's my name, my birthday, my favorite books, and now here I'm going to put a quote that basically represents me very well. I hope it fits. Well, Well, yeah. And here I have a little table with my likes and dislikes. Then we have favorites regarding genre, color, drink, and reading companion. Lily is my cat, obviously. And my favorite genres, well, basically literary fiction and fantasy. And here's my basic rating system. I don't know, I like the idea of rating things with, for example, the co-pile system or the peach system. I saw that one the other day. They sound like absolute fun, but I don't know if I can apply them to all of my reads because I have like a lot of different feelings about books. For example, I mostly don't read manga volumes or graphic novels. This for now is what I found is more accurate for my rating system at the moment. Let's move on. Very autumnal because I'm an autumn. And here we have my goals for 2025 and the book bingo, which I haven't done. But first here, basically like they are recycled from last year, and also I need to put some more. For starters, I haven't written the number of books I want to read. I can't think of more goals for this year apart from 2. I want to, regarding manga volumes and manga series, I want to finish the Jujutsu Kaisen series. It's finally done. We've suffered so much and I don't want to extend that pain anymore, you know? I need to finish it. And I'm very close. I mean, not that close really, but at least I'm all the way through half of the series. I'm at volume 20 and there are 30 volumes, so we are good to go. And regarding the number of books that I want to read this year, I'm going to decrease the number that I usually set myself up to because last year I read many fantastic books and I really enjoyed most of the time with my reads. But another thing about me that you should know is that I have excellent memory. I can remember books very well. I mean, mostly all the points and what happens and everything. I can give you like a very exhaustive summary of it. But last year with some books, I couldn't do that. I don't know if it's the brain rot or what. I couldn't remember some of the books that I read. That was maybe because I tried to read as much as possible for escapism and also because I really wanted to reduce my TBR. I can remember enjoying the books during the process of reading them, but later I would totally forget. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. If you're okay with that, that's completely good. Since I aspire to be an author, my relationship with books usually is also one of study, not only enjoyment or trying to understand myself better, but to check how the authors or the narrative is expressing itself. I want to be more careful with that. I want to take more time with books. So that's why I'm thinking only of reading 60 books this year. If I do read more, of course, they are welcome, but I will be just fine with this. Okay, so regarding the book bingo, I didn't plan this very well at the beginning because I just like put the stickers where I deemed the most perfect place for them was, but I also tried to, I don't know, like do a double bingo, one over here, like a little one, another here, but then I thought like, no, that's not going to work. So I decided to do kind of a pocket here so I can take a bingo card out of it anytime that I complete a challenge. Now I'm going to do that as well. Honestly, I don't know how I'm going to do it. Let's see what it comes out. So here's my bingo ticket. You can read my choices for this year. To be honest, most of the time I do not complete my book bingo, reading bingo for the year. These are just like prompts of books I would like to read, but it's okay if I do not complete this challenge. It's for the fun. This is going to go over here. Yeah, I mean, it fits and it's not looking weird. I'm going to add some stuff. Let's keep moving. Over here, I have my 25 books for 2025. I'm reserving this spot for Katabasis, whatever is the pronunciation. The new book by Rebecca F. Wang. I'm counting the days, I have a lot of mixed genre things, some classics, also some translated books. This one was in my 24 books for 2024, but I did not read it. I'm sorry, Count Dracula. This year is my year. This year I'm coming for you. Over here are going to be the movies. I have them well thought. However, some of them do not have like a cover yet. And to be honest, this challenge about the movies is the one that I struggle the most with. Like, I love watching movies, but I'm not very good at starting them, I need a lot of motivation and initiative. So I think I'm going to build this along the year passes by. Over here, I need to update this. Here's my reading tracker. The thing that I changed about this spread this year is the fact that I'm going to fill in the square with a specific color depending on the month. So for this month, we have this beautiful beige color, and I have read 5 books. Here I have my reading log. I also need to update this. And since last year I filled out completely this spread before logging all the books that I read last year, I decided to do another one following up. And I think this should be okay, like this should be enough for the books that I'm going to read this year. Over here, I have my book series tracker. This is one of my favorite spreads. I just love keeping track of everything that I consume, everything that I love. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish all the series over here. One of my goals, I just remember that I didn't read them to you guys, so maybe I should do that. As I was saying, one of my goals is finish the book series I'm in the middle of, but I'm not sure if I'm going to finish them all, at least the ones that I'm more engaged with. Regarding my other goals, we have to read my entire physical TBR as of the beginning of the year. Maybe I could buy more books, or maybe people are going to give me some books, but at least I want to read all the books that I have now. There are around 30, something like that. We're going to check my physical TBR spread as well. Honestly, I was feeling very inspired with this. I have the Stalima, but then I remember that most of the books that I have left in my bookshelf are like door stoppers, like bricks of books, very huge, very large. So I don't know if I could comply to this, but fingers crossed. I'm really hoping that I could do that. Usually I also have this goal every year, read a book in one day. This one is one that I added this year, read 6 books from Latino authors, originally written in Spanish. As I am a Latina, and I really love Hispanic American literature, and as I love reading in Spanish as well, that is one of my goals. The other one that I added is to read 3 translated books. I mean, they were originally written not in English, not in Spanish, which are my 2 main languages. I'm trying to read in French as well. Yeah, I don't know how will that go this year. We hope it gets better, but I have a lot of books in my radar that weren't originally written in those languages, so looking forward to that as well. This one was in my goals for last year as well, read 3 short story collections, and I did not fulfill that. I really want to do that this year. I already mentioned this to you, so all good. Back to this. Some books I haven't begun with, also looking forward to that. In this page, I left it for all the new book series I want to start this year. For example, the Puppy War and the graphic novels and manga series that I'll be reading this year. To be honest, I don't want to do that right now. I don't know if I'm going to show you the final product at the end of the video, but at some point throughout the year, this is going to be filled out. Okay, thank you for understanding. Now we start with the TV series movie part of the yearly spreads, which is basically the same. I don't have a challenge number. I try to be more flexible with that because I prioritize reading, but this part of the media is a huge part of my life. That's why I decided to include it. Here are the TV series that haven't finished. Most of the ones that I had in my journal journal from last year. They are done or I finished watching them, so I thought, why should I include them? I'm sorry, you guys. I still love you. You belong to another year. So I also left quite a lot of space here in case I want to start new series. I'm also going to update this. Oh, I forgot to check how many seasons we have of Summer Camp Island, which is an animated series as well. Animated series are like my everything. So this spread, I wanted to make it more like noir cinema, you know, because of the movies. And here I put a quote of Chapel Roan because that's my queen. And she's totally right. Let's make it cinematic. Well, yes. And this is basically the same for the extra pages of the reader log. I have some extra pages for the movie log because I also filled out the last spread at the half of the year, which wasn't very convenient. Here we have the favorite book of every month. I do love how this spread turned out. I kinda ate with this. I also want to add some quote here, and because my cat is next to me and she's been very cute, I'm going to add this quote. And it says, life, cats, life is good, which is basically my life. Of course, now it isn't completed, but at the end of the year, this spread is one of my favorites to look at. Also, like to ponder how much fun I had with reading during the year. So, okay. And here, this didn't change of the way that I structure my last journal, but I'm pretty obsessed and proud with how this spread came out as well. So I decide on my favorite book for each month, and then here I set them to bottom. This is also that I mentioned in my flip through, but I'm going to say it again in case you haven't seen that video. But I do not like the system of setting two consequent months together because I don't know, I don't think that's fair. Like I need to mix it up a little bit. So that's why I decided to, for example, pair January with April, which is the first month but of the second quarter of this year, well, of every year actually. So then I can have a little bit of more perspective because I usually read as well according to the seasons. For example, in October, I'm going to read a lot of fall books because I love fall, even though in Chile here during October it's not fall, but whatever. Or I'm going to read a lot of spooky books. But then it's not really fair if I compare them to December, for example, a month during which I usually tend to read Christmassy books, and I do love more Halloween than Christmas, so of course the spooky books are going to win. So that's why I want to give a better chance to all the months. I just realized I need to fill it out with the second part of the year, so I'm going to do that right now. There you have it. I do prefer keeping track of the month instead of attaching the book cover because that would mean that I have to print the same book cover. If here April wins and between April and February April wins again, I would have to attach the same cover twice, and I don't know, I'm not particularly fond of that idea. However, I do plan to put the covers here. They're going to be like the 4 top books of my year. I didn't have enough space to put the winner one, but I do love how it looks either way. I needed to do it like thematically blue because that's my favorite color. It suits the favorite and everything. And moving on, this is also one of my spreads that are ready. I decided to do it Halloween themed because Halloween is the time I anticipate the most. This is about anticipated releases, so it was very fitting. Regarding this part of the year, like the per months, they come later. We get to know them more at the half of the year. I'm also looking forward to fill this because I'm sure I'm going to be excited about the books that are going to be released around this time because they're mostly spooky or kind of fallish. I'm sure this is going to be full at the end of the year. I'm going to make some doodles because I just realized here it's all about doodles and I don't have any here. So That's looking better. So moving on, here we have my physical TBR spread along with the unread books and how I do with that during the year, if I acquire a new book, and then how many books I actually have left to read according to how many physical books I read in said month. Here I have my spread for the books that I acquire along the year. I decided only to do one page because I really want to not buy many books this year. I prefer to focus more on my physical TBR. The only problem is that when I decided to do this little page, then I kind of missed the point of this page. Like, I don't know what to do with this, and I don't want it to be empty, because if you have noticed, I'm kind of the opposite of being a minimalist in terms of my journaling, and you will see more of it in the next spreads. I really like filling everything out, if you haven't noticed. So it's a little bit disturbing, to say the least. I need to do something about it, but I don't know what can be regarding this theme. So if you have any idea, or if you did something similar in your reading journal, please let me know in the comments. I will love to hear more ideas and to feel finally satisfied with this part, because I really don't know what to do. As I was saying, here's going to be my physical TBR. I decided not to do the typical drawing overview of your library, the one that you color the books and put the name on them as you read them. I can't for the life of me be consistent with that spread. I'm going to show you the one that I have for last year, kinda completed but not really. At some point I lost track of it. I don't know which book is this, like the number, and I don't like putting the names on them, to be honest, because they're so tiny, and even though I love being a maximalist, I don't like things to be seemingly cluttered. I think when people write the names on the spines, that tend to be the case. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm not saying it looks bad. I'm only saying it's not my particular taste. Well, you got the point. Now that I have not many books left in my physical TBR, I decided to do the thing that everyone does, to put the title of the books on the spine, but only with my physical TBR. So then when I read it, I can color it and then also cherish my progress. I'm going to fill them out now. Very messy, my sticky note, I know, but I think these are the books that I have left. Either way, I'm going to check them before doing the flip through. So let's go with that. I'm guessing these aren't all the books that I have in my physical TBR, but for now these are the ones that came up to my mind. So for example, I should fill this one, Thirst for Love, because it's one of the books I read this month, and I'm currently reading Territory of Light, so at the end of the month that will also be colored. I love that. I own as now 30 books left to read, and I already wrote the numbers for January because I know I'm only going to read this other book for my physical TBR. We'll see how this goes. Here I have my alphabet challenge, which is another challenge that I don't particularly care if I complete it or not. It's just for the vibes. I should write the title because it's nowhere. I saw this alphabet, like medieval alphabet, on Sticky, the website. It's basically my favorite page to buy stickers because they never fail and they support indie artists. I'm going to do the title with these stamps because I really love the font. The only thing that I struggle with is the tint and how I end up with tint all over my fingertips every time. So moving forward, because we have so many pages left. So here's my vocabulary spread. I decided to add 3 pages of this. Last year I only dedicated 1 full spread for the new words that I wanted to remember or include in my vocabulary. However, I filled out the page like this in a matter of days because I really love words. What can I say? And then I would go to the back of the journal and add some vocabulary spreads, and I have like 10 of those. Seriously, I'm not kidding. I'm not going to do many doodles and anything. I just want to keep things simple. I hope this is enough. Anyways, I'm okay with doing another one over here, but just to have all the words in one place. So now here I begin with some spreads that I don't know how to categorize them, but they're mostly shared with someone else or in community. Here we have a book club picks for each month. For the book club we have with some friends. Here's our logo. Very cute, I know. We already decided on the January read, so I might print soon enough the cover to put it there. And here I have the body reads spread, a spread I didn't do last year, and that's something that I truly regret because I did a lot of body reads and I had such a good time body reading with my friends and everything. So now I want to keep record of my body reads and with who I read certain book. What I'm afraid of is that I do more body reads than 4 because I think here 4 are going to fit well. Maybe I'll need to do another body read spread. Moving on, here I have the 12 recs by 12 friends, and I also need to fill this out, but this is one of my favorite spreads. I'm really proud of how it came out. I love the lilac bluish color of this washi tape in specific, and I love the vibe of it and everything. At the end of the flip through, also I'm going to show you the ones that I have here. I cannot do it now because I have this lovely Ivy printer and I need to send the prints with my phone, and I'm recording with my phone, you know. And now here is a spread I didn't do last year because I didn't know that it would happen to me. Since I'm part of 2 influencer programs, I'm looking forward to log the arcs that I'm given this year. I already have one as well, the 3rd Emily Wilde book. I'm so excited to read it. So also another cover that I'll print. As you can see, I did put a lot of stickers here as well. And I don't have enough space to put probably all the arcs that I'm getting this year because at least I'm getting like 2 to 3 arcs per month. So I'm thinking of only logging the ones I know for sure that I'm going to read. I have another arc, but I don't know if I'm going to read it before the publishing date. And here also another spread that I added this year. Anyways, I'm very happy with it. Very summery, which is not my favorite vibe, but I love the color anyway. So, and here, this is a spread I also had last year, but I didn't plan it. Very convenient for me to track and to follow through it. So now I decided to make this mini book, basically to write lists of the authors that I want to read more books by them. And I have the little papers because I had like some pockets with the names of the authors, and sometimes they were like a little bit difficult to take the little papers out. So now that's why, for the sake of convenience, of being practical, honestly, I decided to just do lists. Here I have all the papers of the authors' titles that I want to follow through. I'm going to do that now. Enjoy the setup. So this is the final result. I think I'm going to add more authors as the year goes on, and I also added some cutesy sparkles and stars. Moving on, I think we're reaching almost the end. These are two spreads that I also added this year. This genre tracker and monthly ratings for movies and books. I'm basically all set up. Here are the colors or the rating of each box that I'm going to fill for each genre. It's going to make more sense when all is set up, so I'm going to do that now. These spreads are finally done. This year I want to track all the genres that I read. I read 3 manga volumes of Jujutsu Kaisen. I tend not to give rating, at least on the bookish platforms, to mangas and graphic novels, but for the sake of this, I decided to give them 3 stars. I don't know if I'm going to fill all the squares, because I don't read too many poetry or non-fiction. Sometimes I do read romance, but it's not one of the genres that I read as a habit. I'm really excited to see at the end of the year how this turned out. Now here we have the monthly ratings. The upper half of the square is going to be for books and the other one for movies. Very self-explanatory as well. I didn't measure it very well because I thought to myself, I'm going to do it in a half, for example, 3 stars and a half. And then I kinda invented a column for 5.5 stars, which most platforms do not have, and that's okay. So I decided to make for my ultimate favorite books or movies of the year. I mean, not always I have those, but sometimes some books feel more than just 5 stars, so that's why it wasn't a bad idea after all. I just have to love my blue spreads. I'm really proud of this as well. Now here I'm going to have my monthly stats also for books and movies. I don't know how I'm going to make it fit all of it. I just hope it turns out well. Now I'm going to set myself into it. That will be the last one. I do have the yearly stats / media awards containing, for example, best characters, worst characters, best TV series, best duology or series, and so on. However, I'm kind of tired right now because I've been for a lot of time here. So maybe I'm going to set it during the year. I can live without this for now. The others over here are the ones that I need to start filling out this month. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into it and stop boring you with my yapping. Yes. Some mistakes. I can say I'm finally done. I'm very satisfied with the result. I'm going to keep doing the monthly stats on each cover page for each month, but here I want to have like all the information in only one place so I can make a sum much easier than just looking at platforms, because sometimes they can be a little bit inaccurate, so I do prefer to do it this way. About this, I do like it anyways. It gives like vintage vibe, if you will. Here I feel like it's a little bit empty, but I can work with that because I just need to be patient. At the end of the year, I'm going to have numbers here and everything. Now, after all this time, I'm going to finally do a general flip over, so pay attention to it. Okay guys, that was it for today. I hope you overall enjoyed the video, even though I yapped a lot. I'm very happy with my journal and excited for the journey ahead this year. Let me know in the comments which was your favorite spread. It would really help me if you can engage with this video in any way. I deeply appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up to reach more like-minded people that could enjoy my content. And well, I'm gonna try to appear more around here because I really love filming videos and I love for you to get to know me better. I'm working on a bookshelf tour if you're interested in it. And also my January setup will arrive soon. On another note, my socials are on the description of the video. Okay, so have a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, depending when you're watching this. And take care. Bye. See you soon.